Very impressive. Very impressive. Did we have that number in mind right there? 32.27 million sold. In comparison to the 3DS, which this seems off. I thought it was inching closer to 80 million, but I guess not. 75. And look at the time differentials. The 3DS has been in the market for roughly, what, 8 years? Against 2? The pacing of the Switch right now is ridiculous. We haven't even reached the 2-year mark yet. And here we are on the verge of surpassing N64 numbers. What a comeback it has been. I don't think Nintendo, I mean, from all the gibber online, I don't think Nintendo is getting enough credit for this type of turnaround. Just coming off the Wii U, even when you look at software sales. At 163.61 in comparison to already at the halfway point roughly to 3DS. Again, looking at the time difference. And then when you look at the software, and we have these ongoing complaints by fans about ports. I don't know how many videos I've seen in the last couple weeks, maybe even the couple months, varying videos of impatient gamers constantly bickering about not all the third-party games being present on the platform. And at this juncture, we shouldn't be blaming Nintendo, because the proof is in the pudding. It's right here. At this point, blame the third-party developers. The turnaround has been phenomenal, and and then not only the third-party speech that's going on, ports, Wii U ports. Let's talk about that real fast. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, Captain Toad, those two games combined are at 3 million right now. Two something. I don't know the exact. I don't have the software tools on this page for Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Already outsold Wii U version. Captain Toad, another million sold. That's 3 million in sales right there, just in 2 games, 2 ports, that Nintendo would have missed out on if they didn't make that business decision and give them that second life on Switch. Listen, people need to realize that if they don't want the games, they don't have to buy them. I'm happy for Switch owners to get to have that option, that opportunity to play something like Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, which in my opinion is one of the best 2D platformers ever made. There's no denying that at that point. The level design is absurd, genius, ridiculous. The art style spot on, the soundtrack by David Wise is spot on, the gameplay, the boss battles. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is great. It's great. And, Captain Toad, another gem. Coming off, this idea came up from out of Super Mario 3D World. And look what they turned that into. Here we are, 1 million sales later. It shifted some units in Wii U as well. I honestly wouldn't mind a sequel. Just a great, different game mechanic they brought in, made a puzzle game out of it. Great. Again, more people get to play it. Now, if you want to argue about the pricing of the ports, that's another subject. But just in terms of Nintendo making these business decisions and bringing these games over, there should be no fuss whatsoever about that. You should be happy for these people, for these Switch owners, new adopters, to get to experience these great Wii U first-party games. And when it comes to the third party, this is just simply impatience. All it comes down to is impatience. Listen, what did I say in the beginning of this video? The Switch isn't even 2 years old yet. Let's see what happens in year 3. Let's see what happens in year 4 as that install base continues to climb. We surpassed 40 million. We surpassed 50 million. We surpassed the Super NES. It's gonna happen. And then we'll see what's really, that's all this argument is impatience, in my opinion. And on top of that, Nintendo is never going to get every third-party game, no matter what platform they release. It's that simple. And we can make a whole video on that and go over all the points and why. But I just want you to be left with that for now. Phenomenal numbers. This whole port argument needs to stop. The third-party argument. Calm down. because this trajectory is not slowing anytime soon when we have games like Fire Emblem, Animal Crossing. People don't realize how big that IP is. The next generation of Pokemon. Yoshi's gonna do well. How much you want to bet that'll sell 1 million within a flash, and it'll just keep climbing. It'll be evergreen, just like every other Nintendo title. Daemon X Machina, more of an experimental offering. It looks great. It's inching closer to a day one for me. There's a lot of Luigi's Mansion 3. There's some great stuff on the way, and this trajectory is not slowing, even when it comes to third party. Doom Eternal. All kinds of Final Fantasy games. The next Mortal Kombat 11. And this is Western, folks. This isn't just, we're getting... Be patient. Nintendo's on a roll. And this whole mobile run that they got coming up as well with Mario Kart Tour and now the newly announced Dr. Mario, the profit is just, the revenue that they're going to be making here can just go right back into more Switch games and more Switch support and more surprising endeavors.